we are here because we know as scientists that there is a clear connection between the amount of CO2 emissions and the increase in temperatures.
As you can see, the more you f around, the more you're going to find out.
Actions have consequences, and sometimes they're hilarious. Sometimes you screw around, like you get that, you know, that meme with the chart, like the F around and find out chart. And we got a perfect example of that from some climate change protesters. Now, I guess I initially, when I see these like idiots doing idiotic things, I think to myself, wow, there seems like there'd be a better way to do that. But then I think, actually, well, yes, they are dumb, and we're going to laugh at them for being dumb. But they are kind of getting their message out, except it's not really what they want. Like, the message they're getting out there is that they're lunatics, and they're not really keeping the conversation going about climate change or protecting the environment or this and that. You know, ultimately, they just get laughed at. It's like, I don't really understand what, I mean, these all must be rich kids. These are the same groups that go on busy roads where people are trying to get to work, and then they like sit down in the road. Just, you know, here's an appetizer, okay? Together with 15 other members of Scientists Rebel, I have occupied the Porsche Pavilion at Autostadt. 9 of us glued to the floor, and some of us on a hunger strike until our demands to decarbonize German and transport sectors are met. I don't assume this is in English.
I'm Gianluca Grimalda. I'm a researcher in social psychology at a research institute in Germany, and I'm here in the
Why is it in English if you're in Germany?
the Porsche Pavilion in the Autostadt of to travel freely for 9 euros on the public transport in Germany. And we are here because we know as scientists that there is a clear connection between the amount of CO2 emissions and the increase in temperatures.
Okay, maybe, well, that's for the topic for a different day on a different platform. But you know, and by the way, I want to be clear, like, I support taking care of your environment. We only have one, and people don't do enough. You know, I see people throwing garbage out their car windows and things like that. Like, it grinds my gears. But then it went on, and then this thing took like a hilarious turn. Volkswagen told us that they supported our right to protest, but they refused our request to provide us with a bowl to use as a bathroom in the center in a decent manner while we were glued. And they've turned off the heat. People in support can't get out of the building. Aww. Aww. If it isn't just the consequences of your actions. Look, they can support your right to protest, but it would appear to me that you have trespassed on their property. You have glued yourself to the floor, which clearly is just it's not really any kind of permanent glue. They just spray a little acetone on it and it probably just deactivates or whatever. It gets it right off. These people aren't ripping their palms off for climate. And sorry, should have thought of that. Probably should have taken some Imodium and made sure you didn't drink anything because you knew you were going to be sitting there for a while. But this is what they do. They do it. They do a little demonstration to say, just a clarification, people in support can get out of the building, but then they couldn't get back in. Oh, no. Wait, are you saying that the corporation where you were trespassing closed for the day and that you couldn't exit the building and then get back in? Did you want them to give you a key card? It's just like, and you have this, like, how many Van Goghs does one Earth worth? We're still contemplating the thorny brilliance of throwing soup on sunflowers. So earlier in the week, you had these clowns who, again, always brightly colored hair, probably rich kids, throwing soup on a Van Gogh. Now, this, for whatever reason, is not a crime. I'm not exactly sure. Well, here's the thing about the van. All these paintings have like protective glass on them. I mean, between you and me, they're probably not even the real ones. I mean, why would they even risk it? It seems dumb. I'm sure that they have the real ones probably in some vault somewhere. So these kids really accomplish nothing. But these people do like the weirdest stuff. And then you had this one here. Where's this one? Where this dude was like spraying orange paint all over a building. By the way, it looks like, I'm not sure that that's biodegradable or not, but it looks like you probably had to use some chemicals to get rid of that paint, didn't you? About 20 protesters gathered outside a store, with many of them gluing themselves to the road. Again, this gluing thing. A video shared by Just Stop Oil's Twitter page shows protesters spraying distinctive orange paint all over the windows. Members of the public can be heard asking, "What are you doing?" In a statement, several individuals staged a minor protest in the morning in the corner of the road. And that's totally fine. Like, you want to protest, 100% support that. That doesn't mean you get to damage other people's property. And that doesn't mean that you get to, like, impede traffic. Like, I get that you care and that this is really important to you. And it's not even about whether or not I agree or disagree with you. It's just that your tactics are dumb. Like, you're dumb people. This isn't getting anything changed to change. What it's going to get is going to get you run over by somebody who's late for work and sick of your BS. And then let's listen back to this more complaints. And by the way, the guy got ruthlessly ratioed, which we're going to take a look at. So just for clarification, people in support can get out of the building, but they couldn't get back in. We can't even order food. We might use the one provided by Volkswagen. Lights off. Random unannounced checks by security guards with bright torches. Police just came in. Again, you were protesting, trespassing, and damaging their property. But you had your smartphone with you, right? You definitely had your smartphone and you had high-speed internet and you're just camping out. These are our demands. The Volkswagen CEO adapted from our general demands. Adapted from our general ones. 1, support the introduction of speed limits on German motorways. No. 2, condone bonds held by Volkswagen from the Global South. 3, declare infeasibility of 1.5 goal. What? After 24 hours of remain glued to the floor and nearly sleepless nights, my hands got swollen. The Volkswagen manager had initially refused to let a doctor in, but eventually accepted. You did this to yourself, Who the heck would blame Volkswagen for this? Who? Doctors unglued me with care. It's not painful at all if done properly. I have committed to keep on with the hunger strike until our demands are met. Hey, you can do your hunger strike all you want. Let's see some of the replies, because these are gold. I'm confused. You and your compatriots planned this protest, but didn't think through food and bathroom needs? And then the Volkswagen people are horrible because they won't provide you with things that you neglected to bring? Kudos to them for turning off the heat and reducing the carbon emissions. And they're hungry and they can't get food, but are supposedly on a hunger strike. That's an interesting thing to point out. No light, no heating means less CO2. That's what I'd call success. Quote, we can't get our food. That's not how hunger strikes work, clown. I haven't laughed so hard at Twitter in a Twitter thread in a long time. Ditto. I mean, like, we can't order our food. Hunger strike? For a researcher, you didn't really do much research on the potential outcomes, did you? Enjoy soiling yourself. On a hunger strike to stop auto emissions, but complaining about not being able to order food that would no doubt have been delivered by an entity using carbon. I mean, like, what? Just to be clear, you're complaining about light and heat, missing pots, the ability to order food even if you were provided with some, security checks, while illegally occupying a building by sticking yourself to the ground. Sir, you are a true scientist. sometimes you got to take a little lighter topic, and this one was absolutely hilarious. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you have a like on it. And if you like the videos, I do 5 to 6 a day during the week and 2 or 3 on Saturdays. So please do subscribe on whatever platform you're watching this video on. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. We'll talk to you again real soon.